Hey, good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for carving some time out of your day. What we hope to do is provide you an action-packed hour and give you a good introduction to the ShiftWorx package, as well as give you some great ideas on how quickly it can be deployed and installed in your plant. ShiftWorx is a MES platform that installs really quickly, really cost effectively. And it also allows you to scale it up and grow it and build it on it yourself. And that's what we hope to accomplish in this webinar, is to give you a taste of ShiftWorx and help you navigate your Industry 4.0 IIoT journey. I'm going to go through a presentation, just a quick presentation introducing FreePoint and doing an overview on the platform, and then we'll dive right into a real actual example where we'll dive into real data, real dashboards, real reports, and we'll give you a taste of what FreePoint's all about, ShiftWorx. We have deployments all over the world, and as you can see from our little brag bar, it covers automotive, packaging, food and prep, OEM, steel, CNC, finished goods, raw materials. FreePoint has many customers using ShiftWorx across a variety of applications. Now, there's the most common problems that we've seen in manufacturing plants are four, and the ShiftWorx platform really addresses all four. Number one is manufacturing skills gap. We're in a time right now when there's a generation of experienced people leaving that have to be filled with young people. About 22% of the existing skilled workers will be retiring by the end of 2025. That's a significant turnover. Compounding that, we've just come through COVID, and that's also made it very difficult and challenging to attract new workers and to retain the workers that we have. That's challenge number one in North America. The IIoT is very confusing for some people. They know they have to do something with the IIoT. They don't know what it is, and it's causing them stress. But really, the IIoT, the Industrial Internet of Things, is a set of tools and equipment that can allow you to connect your old existing machines to new data systems today. The third issue, challenge facing all manufacturers, is efficiency. All manufacturers feel a need to become more efficient, to be competitive. That is an ongoing challenge. Lean teaches that any activity that's not adding value to the customer is waste. And as you'll see from the ShiftWorx demo, ShiftWorx gives you a great opportunity to measure the value-adding activities and to quantify and identify the non-value-adding activities so you can reduce them and eliminate them. And lastly, the biggest problem on the plant floor is collaboration. People are used to, outside of work, they're used to communicating quickly, effectively, and instantly. Manufacturing plant floors are still a little bit behind. That communications takes too long. Paper, pencils, end of week, end of month kind of communications, when really what most manufacturers need on the plant floor is visibility and real-time communication. I hope that you see in this demonstration that FreePoint ShiftWorx platform addresses all four of those big problems. The best way to think of the FreePoint solution is ShiftWorx focuses on three things: data extraction, as you'll see on the left of your screen, operator engagement in the center, and then visualization of the data, or I'll say connection to other data platforms on the right. Most solutions in the market focus on the left side of the screen and the right side of the screen, and they forget about the middle. And the middle is where the operator is, and that's where the human being is. And that's where most of your productivity improvement opportunities may come from. So FreePoint solution, we connect the machines with the people, with the plan, and we do it in real time. So why do you need to visualize your data? Well, you need to visualize your data to know your true uptime and your true downtime. in the last 10 years, I've been in probably 200 plants all over North America and Australia. Never made it to New Zealand, which I did, but also China. And the problems are the same. People work with anecdotal information. They work with gut feel and instinct because they don't have real information to make real decisions. So without knowing without having the data, the real data, you're not making database decisions. You're making anecdotally based decisions, gut feel and instinct based decisions. FreePoint system makes it real, makes it empirical, puts it at your fingertips, and drives actions instantly. We know that what gets measured gets improved, but Pearson's law says it better. Pearson's law states that when performance is measured and reported back, the rate of improvement accelerates. Now, this has been proven time and time again. What FreePoint does with ShiftWorx, we not only measure the performance and report it back, we measure the performance and report it back in real time. So the rate of improvement accelerates even faster. So why is real-time and visualization important? Well, real-time information is important because it provides visibility and it puts everybody on the same page. This puts management, operators, supervisors, everyone on the same page, seeing the same thing, aiming for the same goal. It provides a real-time scorecard that allows people to measure themselves. Now, that seems to be a vague sort of statement, but most human beings do not like to be measured blindly by others. They would rather be measured first by themselves, objectively, and then they don't mind so much being measured by others. Self-measurement leads to the discovery of problems, and it engages people, and it makes people believe they are part of the solution rather than being the problem. Now, connecting machines is very simple, and with the IIoT, this is really where the IIoT really makes things happen. It allows even old machines to be connected. The oldest machine we were connected to was built in 1914. One of our large metal mills, processing mills, all of the equipment was built in 1928. We connect to that equipment as easily as we connect to new machines. As a matter of fact, sometimes I believe we can connect to old machines simpler than the new machines. On this map that you have, it looks a little complicated, but just think on the left, you have your machine connectivity. On the right, you have your data systems and your platform. And in the middle, you just have an aggregation device, which is simply a PC, one PC on your plant floor that will take information either from your PLCs through industry standard communications protocols, OPC, UA, or in the case of older machines, you would use the black box on the bottom, which we call the FreePoint remote module. It's a ubiquitous machine interface that connects wirelessly and non-invasively to any machine. And I referred to that 1914 machine and the 1928 mills. We connected them all with our ubiquitous machine connection. Connecting the machines is the first part of the solution. What is often overlooked by many people is the biggest part of the solution is connecting with people. So you connect to your machines, but you connect with your people, because an engaged workforce is a more productive workforce. The human capital, the workers you have on your plant floor, especially those that have been there for a while and are now contemplating retirement, have a tremendous amount of knowledge and a tremendous amount of understanding of the job they do. And that information has to be captured and so that it can be passed on. Engaged workers will offer you critical insights into planning. And what FreePoint specializes in is we augment the empirical data, the true data, the machine truth, with the unparalleled knowledge that comes from the operator. Humans can tell you what the machines can't, and there's many a plant floor that I walk through that some plant personnel can tell how well the machine is running by the sound or the vibration or even by the smell. You want to engage with your workers as well as your machines because you do not want to lose those insights. And this is why working with people is so important today. 10,000 manufacturing employees are retiring every day in the US. And these are skilled workers that are committed, dedicated to their jobs, and have been working for the companies for long periods of time. Attracting the new younger workforce is a challenge because they do not think the same way, they do not communicate the same way, they're not looking for the same kind of things as the retiring generation. So in the next 10 years, there's going to be roughly 2.7 million jobs created by retirements. And those jobs have to be filled, and they have to be filled by younger people. And the younger people do not want to communicate with pencils and checklists and clipboards. And the younger people don't want to be told how they did at the end of the month. Younger people want to be communicated with differently, motivated differently, which really makes an MES system that focuses not just on equipment, but on people very, very important. So the reinvention of manufacturing, I'm in a lot of plants still these days, and there is a renewed energy and enthusiasm in many plants, and that's coming from the people. So I can tell you honestly, from the plants that I've seen, the companies that are doing the best are the companies that have an engaged, motivated, bright, enthusiastic workforce. So the future success of most companies relies on attracting the brightest and most passionate of the current and next generation of workers. And central to that is an information system that validates the work they do and the value of the work they do. I like to say, reconnect meaning with work and dignity with labor. And that's really what you should be aiming for your MES system to deliver for you. So you have to communicate with your people differently because they're motivated differently, they learn differently, they retain information differently. How do we do that with FreePoint? So here's just one quick little example. Now we're going to dive into this deep on the demo part. So bear with me just for a little bit. On this particular visualization, you'll see a blue bar. On the right side of the blue bar is here and now. On the left side is 24 hours ago. We use a blue bar as the bar of truth. That's the only information that's coming directly from the machine. It's empirical, you can't change it. The bar is blue when the machine is adding value, and it's white when the machine is not adding value. What this particular customer has done with their ShiftWorx system is they've allowed the operator to narrate the uptime, the downtime, the setup time. They keep track of which jobs are on the machine. They keep track of which operators are working on the machine. And this would be a typical example where they've made everything real, visual, graphic, and understandable in real time. Why is that important? Well, we've done studies on this to find out what is the difference between an engaged operator and an unengaged operator. And this is what we found. So one factory that we tested, well, actually a number of factories we tested in conjunction with Fanshawe College, the Ontario Centres of Excellence, and NSERC. We plotted the productivity of a large range of machines, and you can see along the bottom that they were averaging roughly 1,000 value-adding minutes per machine per week. And then right around September, so we collected information for that whole 120-day period, giving no feedback. Then in September, we put our displays up to give them feedback and let them measure themselves, and we achieved an instant significant increase. Then the question was it going to be sustainable or was it a short-term burst? And as you can see, it continued to be sustainable. So how I interpret that is the sharp increase came when people were measuring themselves and became more engaged. And then the continuing increase after that came from collecting information that you could use for continuous improvement to continuously improve your process going forward. So what can you expect from a ShiftWorx integration? Well, you can expect rapid deployment, less than 5 days. you should be able to monitor any process. Any value-adding process, CNC machines, injection molding, welding, assembly, die casting, any process that adds value to your product can be measured. You would drive continuous improvement. This is a great tool for your CI teams to give them uptime and downtime and baselines. And you should expect a dramatic increase in productivity and a very, very quick ROI. We say get started today. This is how we typically get our customers started. And just 15 minutes before this demo started, I received a purchase order from a customer. I did a demonstration on site yesterday at 11 o'clock, left at 12 o'clock. And this morning, got a purchase order for just this exact process. They're going to connect a pilot group of machines. That's step one. They're going to engage their operators, step two. Then they're going to collect baseline data for 30 days, and they're going to measure the results of the difference in the impact. And if the test works fine, then they're going to do the rest of the plant. This is a process we have followed numerous times, and this is our 3 steps to success. It can be started by you in your plants today. FreePoint ShiftWorx platform. It's a platform that lets you add the modules you need. So you only need to buy or pay for what it is you want to use and add modules as you go on. I'm going to jump into our standard ShiftWorx module, which is the module that most folks use to get started. So that should be up here in a second. And I've prepared a small demo based on the demos I've done with live customers the last few days. And this is all live information from machines that have been aggregated all over North America with the permission of those customers to let me show them. So this is basically a dashboard that I've just created to find out which machines are actually in operation today, so I can do a demo for you with real machines that I know in operation. So I see my 3 blade machines are running, my lasers are running, CNC machines are running. And on the right side is here and now, and on the left side is 24 hours ago. The blue is when the machine is adding value, the white is when the machine is not adding value. And then as you can see, I've added some additional quick little indications on what's wrong with the machine if it's not running, which job is on the machine, and which operators are in the machine. This is just my simple dashboard that gives me a sense of what's going on. I'm going to dig into a couple of the specific machines, and I'll start with one I'm going to call my bingo board. So this is a bingo board, a very, very simple board that a customer might have in the manager's office, keeping track of which job is on which machine. And for instance, I see there's nothing on line 24 right now, and I'll want to put a job on line 24, and we will put the job 1348 on line 24, and we will load up job 1481 op 70 on the laser, and we will put this job. So you could use this as a way of having the manager or the supervisor actually put what's on the machines, or alternately, I'll show you a view of the operator running, we'll say line 19. This is what the operator could see on line 19. So John Brown is running the machine. It's running job 1960. It's been running job 1960 for 5 hours and 20 minutes. We could have it that this job is actually finished. So the operator might say, I've finished that job. And the operator might then either request that the manager schedule a new job, or the operator might be empowered to say, now I've set the job up and I'm going to run job 818. If you had barcodes, This would be a matter of pointing and clicking on the barcodes. So from this time forward, they're running job 818. John Brown might need some help because job 818 may be producing parts faster than John Brown can offload them. So John Brown's assistant, Mary Kay, comes over and she logs on with John Brown. So now we're going to have John Brown and Mary Kay running the machine. So the machine is going to continue to run, and as you can see right now, it's actually not running here. So what we'll say is we will just alert the fact that we are now doing a setup and going forward. You can see the bar is painting green for setup going forward. You can also see that the job going forward is going to be job 818 going forward. And let's just take a look at another die cast line to see what another die cast line is doing. We'll say die cast line 2. So here's what all 3 die cast lines are running. As you can see, John Brown is running in setup on die cast line 14, die cast line 19. I'll just take a quick little peek. So die cast line 19. Well, it's die cast, sorry, the die cast line I was on. And I'll go into a different part of the plant. As you can see, we're in setup, Mary Kay. We'll go into a blade machine here. Now what I've done is I've named these screens, these inputs, used them a number of times. I'll show you how easy that is to do. I'm going to put this one into edit mode. I'm going to say now on this particular line, I think scrap is very important. So I'm going to add a box for scrap. And my data source for this box for scrap is going to be blade line 1. I'm going to save that. The other thing that we think would be important on this particular one would be just say blade a call station. And we'll make it lead hand. And we'll say, who do we want to call? Well, we're going to want to call me. And when? Only on day shift. So now what we've done, just on edit mode, we've created a new version of the screen where we can also keep track of scrap. And how is scrap kept track of is very simple. You can just use this here right now and say we've created 5 pieces of scrap because of burn marks. And we'll keep track of that as well. If someone forgot to add scrap, you could be a supervisor or an operator. You would simply go right around here sometime, right around here. We created 4 pieces of scrap because of poor tapping. And oh, now that you mention it, yes, yesterday afternoon shift, yes, I noticed we also created 10 pieces of scrap because we had a color change. So what we're demonstrating here is we've made it very, very simple to add operators. John's going home now. Mary's the only one running the line. This is how many parts she's produced this shift, her average uptime. This is what they produced the previous shift. This is what they're working on right now. If I'm a manager and I'm coming in today, I'm taking a look at today, I see exactly how the morning shift ran. I see that they were in perfect value adding condition right up until setup time. I know which job they worked on, but I also have a 24-hour view, so I can see how the afternoon shift ended the previous day. And it wasn't a bad shift. They had a setup, they had a coil change, but they had these two unaccounted for down periods. So I might go to the afternoon shift manager and I might say, hey, what happened to these two? What happened to these two particular reasons? And if it's fresh on mind or somebody has it on a piece of paper somewhere, we'll just narrate them. And one of the things you might be asking is who gets to do this? Well, that's all up to you. The FreePoint system, the ShiftWorx system, is a permissions-based system. So you create as many users as you want and as many roles as you want, and you give some roles the ability to narrate historically and some roles only the ability to narrate here and now. You can also create some roles that only have the ability to view the data but not input the data. So that's all at your disposal. So this just shows you how easy it is to interact with things. I'm just going to show one or two more things. You can add notes. And so right around here, maybe they observe something really interesting. So they'll say right around here, oh, squeaking noise heard. Okay, now. So they can add a note. They can add a note there. So when you come in the morning, you just take a look at the last period of time and you can see if there's any notes, what those notes were. The nice thing is you don't have to be on this screen. You can have your own screen somewhere and your own screen might have all the machines on them, but you can tell at a glance what's been going on. I'm going to say, hey, my setup is going bad. It's not going as smooth as I want. I need some help. I'm going to hit my call station. And now what's happened is it's actually going to send an email out to me. I'm going to turn on my phone here because very soon I should be getting I just received an email saying that an operator is doing a setup on blade line 1 and needs help. So I'm going to get in my little cart from the maintenance department where I've got a screen that might look similar to this, or it might only have the call station buttons on it. And I'm going to go to blade station 1. I'm going to help the operator resolve the issue. And after I help the operator resolve the issue, I'm just going to click on this call station button to turn it off. I know how long it took for the maintenance person or the lead hand or the quality person to respond to the request, and I know how long it took to resolve. As you can see, this is a very, very powerful, flexible system that you can build it yourself. And now you're probably wondering, what do you do with all this information? Well, the FreePoint system has a great reporting set that lets you then say, let's just take a look at the reports. So, for instance, I'll just one of the reports I created just this morning was demo codes used today. So I'll run the reports, demo codes used today. So as you can see, these are the downtime conditions that were used today. And these were the machines, blade machine 1, blade machine 2, and a robot welder. If I wanted to know what my uptime was, what I will do is I'll just add another chart. And on this next chart, I'll say, you know what, we want to know uptime Buy machine, and I'm going to pick all the machines. I don't have to pick them all. I can pick some of them. I can pick them all. In this case, I'm just going to pick them all. And just for the purpose of this demo, I am going to say current day. And we'll show it in percentage. And run. If I liked that and I thought that was useful, what I would do is I would save this report template, and then I would schedule this report template to run every single day and email to me every single morning, and I would know what went on in my plant floor last week or yesterday or last month. I can create as many of these reports as I want in as many different flavors, and if I wanted to export it, it would be a matter of, instead of showing a stack chart, I'll say give it to me in a data table instead, in which case it would give it to me in a complete data table, and I could export to CSV and then put it into Excel or Power BI or whatever I wanted to use if I didn't find the reporting tools to be sufficient. The last thing I'm going to show real quickly is I mentioned that this is a permissions-based system. So if you go into your administration, you'll see that you're able to set up roles. So for instance here, I set up a role called machine operator, and I've given the machine operator only these things they can do. I've set up an IT department role. They can do all of these things. I set up a lead hand role, set up all of these things. And then you can create as many users as you want. And then whenever you create a user, like for instance, Lisa Boss. So I've set Lisa Boss up. She has her own username and password, and she's set up as a manager. And Jason McLean, he's set up as administration. And then I have all of these other folks that work on the floor that don't require a login. They're just operators that run the machine, and they just have to bar scan in or click in when they're running the machine. You can set up as many shifts as you want. Here's where the system really gets powerful for continuous improvement, people. You can set up as many production codes as you want. Now, I typically break them down into major categories. We'll say administration, expected reasons for being down, machine faults. You can create as many as you want. As an example, production, one of your operators might give you a good idea, where you might have a specific machine. We'll say we have a specific machine that has a particular problem with, we'll just say material in die, and we'll save that. So now we've got another one for material in die. Then you can group, let's say quality issues. We'll create another one of quality issues, and we will say color mismatch. So you can create as many codes as you want, as many categories as you want. What I typically suggest is make the expected categories and the productive categories green, setups, things like that, training. All the good things, make them green. All the expected things, make them amber. All the unexpected things, make them red. And all the managerial related things, make them, well, I say make them blue, but people on the plant floor says make them black. You can manage the devices that you have, the data sources that you have. If you're connecting with an ERP system, you can set up your jobs as to which fields you want in your jobs, which fields don't you want in your jobs. But the purpose of showing you this administration right now is just to show you how flexible and powerful the system is. So I'm going back to ShiftWorx and just takes a moment here. These are my, again, this is just my machines with the most recent status, but I'm going to do one more little example here for you. I'll go to the thing I like to call the bingo board, just to show you how easy that is. There's the bingo boards. Supposing we've added a new machine, it's as simple as go into design mode, and we're going to build a new, put in a new machine. I'm just going to keep a box that's in there already. I'm going to clone it. There's my new one. We're going to call this one line 61. Save it. We're going to add another job input tile to it. Pick the data source for it. Now I'm going, since I'm not going to confuse myself, I'm going to call this what it is. And status code also, press break 1. So simple as that. Now, supposing you think it's a really good idea to also know who the operators are, we'll just say, okay, great, we'll do that. We will add an operator field. For, this would be line 17, which is blade line 1. Another one for blade line 2. I won't go through and add the rest, but you get the picture. It's pretty easy to do. Maybe I will add just one more just to make it nice and uniform. This is blade line 3. So as simple as that. That's how easy it is for you to create screens, templates, bingo boards. I'm going to go back to die-cast line, blade line 1 operator, the operator screen. Mary Kay still doing her setup. She needs some help doing her setup. So we'll pull Fred Green in to help. So now we've got Mary Kay and Fred Green in. They're still struggling a little bit. This is what's going on the screen on the plant floor. You're in your office. You're in your office. You're watching your overall board. Now you see that you've got 2 people on. You're still in setup. You've been in setup mode for 26 minutes. You were only expecting to be in setup mode for 20 minutes, but you're over your time in setup mode, and your uptime is starting to deteriorate, and it's turned red. So I'm going to leave it at that point. I've given a pretty comprehensive view of ShiftWorx and what it can do for you as a manager, as a supervisor, as an operator. We covered a lot of material very, very quickly. I hope that you found it informative and hope that it helps you as you plan your Industry 4.0 IIoT journey forward.